everybody had a Merry Christmas. I know our players enjoyed getting to spend some time with their families. We came back, practiced Christmas night. I had 2 sessions yesterday. Everybody's in good health and excited about the opportunity ahead here tomorrow night, and hoping to have a great crowd, a great atmosphere here for the SEC opener against the top 10 team in the country on national TV. So it's a great opportunity for our players and our program, and we're looking forward to it. So love to open it up for any questions.
Cam was talking about, and both Derek and Cam were talking about, you mentioned since they've been back, focus. I guess that leads to consistency, but they talked about how y'all get big leads and then let it slip away, but kind of focusing, what can that help them?
Yeah, I think so, Sheldon. I mean, all we're trying to do is get our team better and play more consistent, high-level basketball. I think we've shown it in stretches. We've had trouble sustaining that for long periods of time. I've been disappointed in our second half starts the last couple games. So there's plenty of area for improvement there. But I think coming off the break, number one, first priority is to get your conditioning back to where it needs to be. Then secondly, make sure we haven't forgotten everything we've worked on for the past 6 months. So there's been a lot of review there. And then the final piece is getting back to competing. And so I think as we get ready to enter SEC play, we have to be locked in, attention to detail at both ends of the floor, especially when you look at this opponent tomorrow night. You can't allow your turnovers or poor shot selection to lead to their elite transition game.
Kind of what y'all's plan on guarding Arkansas? They got a lot of like really talented players, as you know.
Am I supposed to give away the plan?
No, just talk about like just.
No, I mean I think when you look at their team, they're ranked in the top 10 for a reason. They are elite defensively. They're one of the best teams in America in forcing turnovers. They do a terrific job protecting the rim. And then on their offensive end, obviously very explosive. Ricky Council's been terrific this year, the Wichita State transfer, 18 a game. Anthony Black, the McDonald's All-American at the point, is another elite player. You can go right on down the line. So, I think for us, regardless of opponent, we always approach it the same way. We have to defend together as a team, work as one unit out there on the floor. I don't think it's any secret our ability to guard and keep the ball in front one-on-one, whether it's just that, a one-on-one opportunity or a ball screen opportunity. We have to make great strides there. Just have not been good enough in those areas.
What has Cam Hayes brought to this team? It seems like he's playing at a really high level, especially the last 4 games. And do you think it kind of motivated him earlier in the season when he wasn't playing a lot?
The word that comes to mind would be stability. I think a guy who started many games in the ACC over his career, very talented. I think he's a smart player. He's been very efficient, which for us has been a weakness at the guard position. He's shooting, I think, 65% from 2-point range, which is a credit to his selection there. And then he's been very efficient from behind the 3-point line. He's improved our defensive rebounding at the guard position, and he has improved taking care of the basketball. And I think it's a great lesson. I've said this for everyone on our team. I've said it from day one. I think our rotation minutes, roles will evolve more on this team than any team I've ever been a part of, just because every player's new. And he had a DMP early in the season, was not in the rotation. Practice habits were really good. He was consistent on the court there. And then amazingly, those great practice habits and performance in practice carried over to the games when he got his opportunity, and he's taken off and run with it. So for us, we need his leadership on the floor. Always just come back to that word stability. I think he's really helped us in a lot of different areas.
Hey, Coach, this will be your first time as a coach and first season in the SEC. So how do you use this game tomorrow to sort of make a statement to the rest of the conference about what to expect from your coach teams here at LSU?
I really don't look at it that way. I'm not into making any statements. I think, as I've said all along, I know it's boring and no one will enjoy hearing it in the media. Our goal is to help this group of players that we were able to put together this spring, build them into the best team we're capable of being. And that's it. And so every game's an opportunity for us to get this team better. We have to get better. We're well aware that we're starting SEC play tomorrow. So just want our team, to continue to improve, keep getting better, and I've always been a big believer your outcomes and results will take care of themselves.
Yeah, Matt, y'all were 7-1 when you changed your lineup. You put Derek in, and I think next game you put Cam in. Just talk about the decision to do that. I mean, what did you see through those 8 games? You thought, okay, this is what we need, and this is who I think can give it to us.
I've said this before as well, and I think it's important to say again, it's not a demotion of anyone. It's not a benching of anybody. It's more so what those 2 players had been doing in practice and then in the games. And defensive rebounding has been a weakness of ours early in the year at the perimeter position especially. And Cam, I think his first 2 games, he averaged 6 rebounds a game as a starter there. Assist to turnover ratio. Through the first 8 games, we actually had 10 more turnovers than assists. And then after the change was made, I think we were 52 assists to 28 turnovers in the next 3 games. So it's really helped us there. And then overall, I just think both of them have played extremely hard. I think both of them are very unselfish players, and they play with great energy. And I think those traits, playing hard, bringing great energy, being unselfish, being about the team, I think those traits become contagious, and those are things we want to live in our locker room on a daily basis.
Does Arkansas's guard play the first thing that jumps out on top of the scouting report? I mean, they might be without Nick Smith. I think they possibly will be, but those other 2 guys, I mean, what do they bring?
Well, I think you always look in scouting anyway. We do. You look to personnel first, and so their talent certainly stands out. They're very well coached, coming off back-to-back Elite 8 performances. But when you talk about those 2 guys in Council and Black, number 1, very good basketball players clearly, but 2, great size, length, and athleticism for the position. And so for us, we know those will be key guys. Council scored it consistently all season long, over 18 a game. Can score at all 3 levels, gets to the basket, has a good mid-range game, also shoots the 3. Black's an elite playmaker off the dribble, great passer, has really good vision. So those are key matchups, no question about it.
Yeah, Coach, y'all have already been tested a few times this year, but how much more do you think you will learn about your team now that conference play is about to start?
I think we will continue to learn about our team every day. As I said in the beginning, I mean, Arkansas, they're top 10 in the country for a reason. Really good basketball team. I think when you start looking at, we've talked about their personnel here, but you start looking at them overall as a team. They're one of the top defenses in all of America. They force turnovers. As mentioned, they have great length and athleticism, good quickness at every position. So they make it difficult on you on that end. And what you can't let happen are those turnovers and bad shots they force lead to transition because they're so explosive in the open floor.
Maybe, Matt, maybe not necessarily their style of play or anything like that, but is Arkansas, the program they have now, the maturity, a mature program now, is this what the level of play that you aspire to one day? Is this the type of program that you aspire to have? And just the time and building it takes to get to that point from where you are now?
Oh, of course, Scott. I mean, to have a top 10 program, a team with, as mentioned, back-to-back Elite 8s, it's incredibly difficult to do. So I think you have to look at how they've recruited well, how they've taken really good players and built them into cohesive teams that are able to play efficiently at both ends of the floor. They have great balance. Those are definitely traits that we aspire to build in our program. So I have great respect for what they've done there. And as mentioned, this is a great opportunity for us. Opening night in the SEC, home, national television, top 10 team on your floor. I think our guys will be excited and are looking forward to the opportunity.
When you've had, I guess, players on your past teams in shooting slumps, like Adams, like 5 of 36 last 5 games in threes, do you go out there and watch him shoot? Do you look at his form? I mean, does he? I know shooters don't want to have to think about their form. It screws them up when they start thinking about it. But I mean, when you look at his shots, I mean, good shots he's taken, just missing them, or can you see anything with his form that's caused him to miss all these shots?
Well, I think that's the fun part of coaching. Obviously, you hate to see a player going through a shooting slump, but you're trying to identify how can you help that player perform at his very best. And so I think it starts with your mindset, that you play with great confidence. Then from a coaching staff standpoint, you're looking to see what can we do differently schematically or strategy-wise to create some higher percentage shots to get that confidence restored. But certainly when you have an elite shooter like that, you don't want to overanalyze it. So I think for us, we just need to create high percentage shots, and I know he'll shoot them at a high level as we move forward.